All right, another episode of Real Time. Then we're off for a week, and now they're back. He's back.
Thank you so much. What a time to be in America, the politics and the whole thing. I don't know what to tell you, people. Did you see the press conference yesterday? Okay, he had a press conference finally. Okay, he walked out. So far, so good. The very first question was about Kamala Harris, and he called her Vice President Trump.
Oh, God.
He said, I would not have picked Vice President Trump. And now we're in this cycle where every time he keeps digging the hole deeper, but he keeps thinking he can make up for it. So every appearance is make or break. They keep saying, well, it has to be Joe Biden's choice, which is kind of like letting the drunk decide if he's okay to drive.
Yeah, man.
He served as the 55th Speaker of the House. Please welcome Kevin McCarthy, ladies and gentlemen.
Kevin McCarthy.
Donald Trump never prosecuted his political opponents.
Ooh, we got him
Did he
there.
ever indict any of them?
Oh, Bill, come on, say
Himself was
something.
indicted. That's the
But
point.
did he go? Yeah.
That's not who he...
Oh, I got to rewind that.
Yeah. But Donald Trump never prosecuted his political opponents. Did he ever indict any of them?
He himself was indicted. That's the
But
point.
did he go? Yeah.
That's not who he...
Yeah. But he...
If he could have, he would have. It's not like he had someone he could prosecute, a Democrat, and he chose not to. Nobody was really there for him to prosecute.
He has not conceded the last election. Did he win or lose?
Did Hillary Clinton ever concede her?
Yes, she did.
No.
She
did.
Before the cock crowed.
No, I haven't.
You did.
Bitch.
You went down to Mar-a-Lago and kissed his ass after that.
Oh, bullshit.
The reason why you got shit canned is that you... What? Now, don't be insulted by this, but I have a phrase. I've said it to many people. We've laughed about it. Chris Christie's laughed about it. Good as it gets, Republican.
Oh, wow.
I made your book?
Yes, you did.
Do I want to read it?
Yeah, there are some things in there that I think you would be very laughing about.
Okay.
Laughing about.
I mean, I go after the crazy left, too. This, you saying you think Putin pays two people and one of them's Trump.
That's a total joke that the day before... No. Look, you put
They don't
For-
react to it like
No,
it's a
but
joke.
you-
If you had said this is a joke, and by the way, it's a knee slapper. That was some funny shit.
Ben Shapiro,
He's the
man.
Daily Wire co-founder.
Yeah, I'm what you call, or what Bill Maher calls an old school liberal. I was from the very beginning, man, anti BLM. I called them the bootleg Black Panther Party, who I respect greatly because I'm from Oakland. It's part of our history in our city. I respect them a lot. They were doers, not complainers. They didn't go around screaming at people. And I first noticed Ben Shapiro when he did some kind of panel discussion, debate. It was just him by himself and a bunch of BLM supporters or members or whatever. Man, when I tell you he destroyed them with pure, uncut facts. I mean, they look like buffoons. They look like clowns up there. And I've been, watching him ever since. Him and Matt Walsh. But I think I like Ben a little more. He's like old school Republican almost. Not crazy, not far right. So you could actually, I've seen him have discussions with Bill Maher on his own show. And it's cordial, it's respectable, no talking over each other, no screaming, no arguing, no hitting under the belt. So, yeah, cool guy.
Ben Shapiro.
Look at that. He has a lot of fans, even with Bill Maher, among Bill Maher's
The
audience.
New York Times. And then we're on next week. Then we're off.
Again?
Bad time to be off considering what's going on.
He said in a rally, he said he didn't even know that NATO existed before he was president of the United States. And so
Oh my God.
You want to keep going with Biden?
It's his decision.
Oh,
I
God.
want to beat Donald Trump, but it's his decision.
I said from the beginning, or a year ago, when I called him Ruth Bader Biden, I said, do
And
I
he,
think
he is.
he's not a vegetable, okay? He's not crazy. He can still think. He
Between
can still...
certain hours.
Oh, Ben.
You know, I hear it, and I'm like, the candidate is old.
Between certain hours.
Last night was a wonderful night because it's
He
what you
loves
said.
it.
He is mostly dead, which is still slightly alive, right? Which is exactly what you're looking for if you're a Republican. We have never said a prayer for the health of the president like we are currently saying a prayer for the health of the president. We would like him to remain in precisely the state he is. All the way until just after the election. That would be great.
I hear that. Literally talked with substance yesterday about Israel and Hamas. He talked with
No, he
substance
blew
about
that one.
This guy's
about
dreaming,
Ukraine
man.
and Russia.
What he cares about that.
Well,
Each time he goes out there, he's going to dig it a little deeper. How perfect would he have
You mean
to
his grave, correct?
Jesus.
He said, Jesus, Ben. Ben is on a rampage, man.
No one's telling me I can't win. That's alarming right there, that no one's telling him. And
Yeah.
It's this race is going to be close. I don't
Yes,
think
it
anybody
will
No,
be
it's
close.
not.
This race is going to be extremely close.
It's going to be a landslide.
To put pressure on him and on Jill, the actual president of the United States, perhaps.
Because
to get him to
Joe Biden would actually be a far better president than Melania or Donald Trump. I don't even know if they're still together. But so
Right?
There's two groups who want Biden to stay in the race. Trump
Yeah.
supporting Republicans.
Donald Trump has 5 children by 3 baby mamas. He has. What you can't question though is the list of accomplishments. You can't question somebody who drug us out of COVID. You can't question an infrastructure reduction act. Do you remember infrastructure week?
It's a 32% approval rating. It's not just me.
Well, King
it's
had a-
68%.
Yeah, man.
The American public.
4th of July weekend, there's 109 people in Chicago who were shot. The race of the victims will not be reported.
What?
Is that helpful?
We're highly segregated, and the crimes that are perpetrated against white people are perpetrated by white people because we're a segregated community.
I've heard that argument before. I think D.L. Hughley, he said you're gonna be a victim depending on your proximity to someone, the racial group that you're part of in the community. So if you're Latino, you're gonna get victimized by another Latino. Same thing with white or black. Yeah, that makes sense, of course, right? But you got to look at it from a numbers point of view per capita. You take a city of 100,000 people, one of which is white, the other is Asian, the other is Latino, the other is black. Among those 4, which are going to have the most violent victims? I can tell you right now, the first will be black, then Latino, then white, then Asian. And everything else, Indian, whatever, they're at the bottom. That's what needs to be talked about.
We have to hug and love our children so that they don't go out and join gangs so that they can find that love. And we're just not doing.
That would be good, but I think there has to be a cultural revolution. I think someone called it. Your whole thought pattern, everything has to change. I think what Tupac said it in that song, changes. He said we got to change the way we think, the way we eat, the way we treat each other. Everything, the whole thing has to flip. It's not even a black thing, it's an American thing. Because even like Nigerians, they put a whole lot of emphasis on education, which is why when they come here, they go to college, they excel, man. They're really, really, really smart. Japanese, Jews, they all put a lot of focus on education. And that's what you got to do as a whole. That includes Latinos too. Latinos only think about labor, hard work, breaking their back instead of breaking their brain. That has to change too.
I do believe that everybody in the United States has the capacity to get married, father kids, and stay with the family that they created.
Well, Donald Trump didn't.
I mean, and I disagree with that.
Good one.
I hear you, but I think where I would probably disagree with both of you guys. I mean, most times when we talk about racism,
I just asked the question.
No, I'm talking about systemic racism, and most times
Has it gotten worse since 1960?
Yes, actually.
Systemic racism has gotten worse since Jim Crow.
Yes. I think the ridiculous notion is for either one of you all to have the audacity to believe that you understand what the experience is to be.
I have to object to that.
Yeah, come on, Bill, come on.
I cannot
Push back.
talk about it because I am not part of a group. I am a sentient human being. You're right. There's two ways you cannot understand something. One is to be too far from it. We're too far from it. We can't see like you can. One is to be too close to something. And then sometimes you can't see it accurately either.
Yeah.
That's
And it's also not true to say that the experience of black people in America in 2024 is worse on a general level than the experience of black men in 1954 in Alabama. That's just crazy.
But I mean, I think
come on.
There have been medical studies that show that people respond to the pain of black women differently than they respond to the pain of white women.
Yeah, I believe
that. Literally is a fact.
Maybe, but I think a lot has to do with diet. I read that somewhere that Latinos have the most healthiest babies because of our diet. Yeah, I mean, even if you're a vegan, I don't think that's too good for a baby. But it might have something to do with the intake, your food, that makes it easier or less risky for a woman to give birth.
There are many, many confounds when it comes to these particular issues. And unless you remove the statistical confounds, you end up with trying to blame vague, shadowy figures like implicit bias, which are innately, insanely difficult, if not impossible, to measure.
I don't know what he just said.
I'm sorry you said it.
At least we're talking.
But I don't mind the conversation.
I don't either, and I'm so glad you do.
And I don't.
Yeah, but they never goes anywhere.
Without George Floyd being murdered before our eyes. And so my point to you both, change.
Ben Shapiro doesn't
for people
believe
who look
that.
like me in this country and treat them like a dog is to actually see them as such.
Or because you're a cop and you treat people badly.
Yeah.
Meaning,
it has happened
Yeah.
similarly to white people.
I might get some flack for this, but now some cops, yeah, they're overly aggressive jerks or whatever you want to call them. But I saw a video one time. I think maybe it was the TV show Cops. I don't know. There was a cop there. There was a big fight at a Denny's. There was like in a black neighborhood. Everybody was black in the restaurant, screaming and fighting. He was being very nice, telling them to calm down, to stop screaming, stop fighting. Nobody listened until another cop came and he shouted from the top of his lungs, cursing and everything, really aggressive, to stop, and everybody stopped right then and there. But you have to be a little aggressive in rough areas, and a lot of black criminals, a lot of times they resist. I mean, I get running, and once you get caught, then that's it. You got to do your time like a man. But no, even when they get caught, a lot of them put up a fight. And someone pointed out that maybe, especially now, they're just hoping for a lawsuit. If things get out of hand, something happens, you could sue the police department and there'll be a settlement. So it's almost like they're hoping for that. So yeah, you got a lot of police officers who are like that, but it's for a reason.
Let me before we run out of time, fascinating.
We just got started.
I know. I assume that means he can put me into jail just because I keep showing this video of where he's jerking off two guys at once. Me, what it says is Trump can grab a pussy as long as it's on Air Force One.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
That's crazy. Donald Trump said shit?
Yeah, but when he's
No.
Y'all are mad because
if the left allows it to be, it will remain blood. That's what you think this country should be? That you do what we say or it gets bloody? That's what you think America is?
You read page 332 of Project 2025?
It's one of the best.
I actually talk about the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025 briefly?
No, because we're out of
We're out
time.
of time.
But, thank you, guys. This was really one of the best.
New rule.
New rule. Before Justin Timberlake and Tiger Woods open their new sports bar, That's right, flag exchanges, where Hamas-loving assholes who hate this country can give away flags they were going to burn to new immigrants who love this country and want flags to wave.
Yeah.
Everyone hates having to put on a shoe that was worn by 1,000 fat fucks who bowl. The one thing I know for sure about America is this. It's run by mean girls. Mean girls. Yes, replacing a president as his party's candidate this late will seem like a big deal. For about 3 days.
Yeah.
And then we'll all be over it. I just want to be your guide here and tell you what the choices are. Kamala Harris, vice president,
Oh, no.
Biden's campaign money. And as a former prosecutor, Kamala was putting criminals in jail back before liberals decided that was a bad thing. I vote for who will win. And for whatever reason, Harris has never been popular. You can count the number of delegates she won in the 2020 primaries on one hand, as long as that hand has no fingers. It's not fair that she's not popular. She's intelligent and accomplished, and in fact was put in charge of the border. And look at how... Okay, bad example.
Oh, man.
Gavin Newsom is the governor of California, and at 6'3" and 215 pounds, he's actually the height and weight Trump claims to be.
He's been band-blapping at that.
I don't want to see it. He gets an alert on his phone every time Biden can't think of a word.
Biden freeze alert.
The homeless can live anywhere, but they choose California.
That's right.
9 out of 10 machete-wielding meth addicts say they wouldn't be unhoused anywhere else. I noticed slick is something no one has been accusing Biden of lately. And his name lends itself to the best slogan since I Like Ike. I'm having Gavin.
That's good.
Gretchen Whitmer is a very attractive choice. High-profile
Who is
female
that?
governor who owns dogs but doesn't shoot them. No wonder rednecks tried to kidnap her.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
Is a Rhodes Scholar, former mayor, and now he's the Secretary of Transportation, and he's only 10 years old. The Democratic Party has all these very capable, popular, progressive,
What happened
not
to
stupid, woke
Dean
governors.
Phillips?
And these guys, all you need to know is they're moderates, they're under 100 years old, and they have a D next to their name. All right, that's our show. I'll be at the Orpheum Theater.
All right.
July 26th.
One of the best episodes so far this year.
Now go watch Overtime on YouTube.
Catch you on the next one.